Hello, welcome to The Trekway. My name is Trev as always, and it's a little bit of a sad day because it's the last ever episode of Star Trek Discovery. Yes, we are finally at the end. Mixed emotions for sure. So, the season 5, episode 10, titled "Life Itself." Uh this is supposed to be my short review before the live long discussion we have on the Sunday with Gray, but this episode was an hour and 26 minutes long. I think it was probably anything between 10 and 30 minutes longer than it should have been because they found out it was the series finale at the last minute and they came back to film some more scenes, which will be more obvious. But we'll try our best to fly through this and make it not too long of a review. But yeah, so the last ever episode is a shame, but it goes off it goes off into the sunset well, I think, and pays off some things. A little bit of a crazy start to the episode. Burnham wakes up to find herself in a weird place full of portals to other worlds. This was the progenitor tech, the device that she went into the previous episode. And this place looks nutty. It really, really does. There's portals everywhere, and then underneath it's like a hellhole of like mountains with really bad weather and terrain. You don't want to be going down there. But unfortunately, Burnham does actually fall down there trying to go into a portal. She doesn't die falling that distance. Nitpick maybe. But it's okay, nothing that a fight with a Breen soldier won't, fix. She has a little bit of a fight with the Breen, takes him out. But there's a lot of bad weather down there, like massive gusts of wind. And she actually does her best Neo from the Matrix impression. She can see the portal above her, and she literally times herself to jump up onto a rock and then up to that portal as the gust of wind comes along. A gust of wind, it's hurricane type winds. Bit far fetched, but kind of cool at the same time. We bump into Maul again, of course we do. Both her and Burnham kind of work together until they don't. It doesn't really last too long. A pretty epic fight ensues between the two of them. And you really don't see a winner initially because they've been doing so, because they're really good in hand-to-hand combat. This whole time, Discovery is getting smashed up by those Breen fighters from the teaser trailer for this episode. And it's basically heading to the portal once they get there before the Breen does. I'm just thinking to myself this whole time, why is Discovery not firing back and flying? But we find out later. Rayner does the smart thing and decides to leave the portal for now to focus on the to focus on the fighters, not the freighters, Trevor. They're something else. Why? I don't know why they couldn't fly and shoot at the same time. It's not a big deal, but Book is volunteering to take care of the portal and what I'm calling a little bit of a souped up shuttle craft, because there's a lot of radiation. It's black holes. He's going to go in there and the shields will get boosted as much as they can. Dr. Culber volunteers to go. No one can really understand why. Stamets is like, no, but he wants to go no matter what happens. He's going, and I think it's to do with this problem or issue he's been having ever since he shared consciousness with that Trill. So he's not been the same since, and he's like, something's telling me to do this. I'm like, okay, where did this come from? Now, at this stage, Burnham finds a clue in this endless maze of portals. It's almost kind of like a fake wall in front of it, which doesn't properly make any sense. But she sees through the it's like kind of a sheath, like a cloak, if you like, almost, and she finds her way through to this stunning field with lights everywhere. I mean, it looks stunning. It looks like masses of fields of flowers with a central structure in the middle. And then Saru, let's not forget about him. It would not be a finale without Saru. We love Saru on the Trekway. He is in the shuttlecraft that's got this new pathway drive attached to it. We still don't have a clue what a pathway drive is, apart from it's faster, it works in warp drive. Apart from that, they don't tell you, which is really annoying. He has his audience with Primarch Tahal, the one that's en route to try and take the progenitor tech for herself. And he gets his audience. He really gets his audience. He goes hardcore and literally bluffs big time of what he's going to do. He threatens to release the where their Breen's outposts are along the trade routes, and he goes a little bit nasty, a little bit hardcore. I like it. Action Saru, you might say. So no, I'm glad Saru's here. Now back in the portal, Maul and Burnham find what they think is the tech, the progenitor tech, only for Maul to turn around and do the dirty and knock Burnham out while she's distracted. I mean, yeah, I think we've seen that one coming. Maul tries to use the tech for herself and it backfires big time. There's a bunch of triangles on the wall or on the device, and you know, Maul thinks you just join them all together, like in the middle, no problem, right? Looks a bit too simple, to be fair, but it's not. The clue that Burnham had from before is key even to actually figuring this one out. And I knew it would backfire because Maul's kind of the bad guy. It does. She kind of gets locked in this kind of... It looks like she was getting electrocuted, but she's like stuck in place permanently, getting zapped by whatever fail-safe device this is. Now, the portal, when Maul does this, activates big time. And the tech that's there starts kind of kicking in. It's building up its power reserves, and it's using the black hole as a power source, which is pulling the portal towards them, which could be game over. You know, it's pulling the portal towards the event horizon. Book in the shuttle with Culber is trying his best to kind of keep it in place. Speaking of which, Book is struggling to actually hold he's actually struggling to get a lock on this thing to begin with, but Culber just comes up with the random frequency required to lock on to the portal and keep it in place. Again, it's his epiphany moment. I'm kind of really confused as to what's going on there. Discovery is able to destroy all the fighters, the Breen fighters now. It's focusing on that alone. Uses like a pocket of kind of like pocket gas, ignites that, takes them all out in one go. It's kind of cool, actually. I do love the torpedo noise from Discovery in the 32nd century. Now, at this stage, Saru is like an unwanted guest when he's hanging about trying to get some answers from the Primarch, and he's not getting any answers. This was the bit I told you about where he basically turns into the master negotiator and threatens Tahal. She kind of, I think she buys it, but she calls him insane before she hangs up, and the whole fleet does disengage and disappear. So, I mean, action Saru to the rescue. The guy's a legend. For whatever reason, you know, it's her good nature. Burnham does come to save Maul. Should have left her, I'm saying, but you know, she's a better person. She figures out the puzzle. She basically inverts all the triangles out the way, so there's a negative space in the middle. Kind of smart, actually. I'm just surprised this whole device is so simple. I was expecting something more high tech, but sometimes the simple things are the best things. And then the device literally it starts powering. Then Maul the whole time is just looking puzzled about the whole thing. I think they kind of agreed to work together again. How long it lasts for, you know. But as soon as Burnham solves that puzzle, she's taken to, I don't know if it's another realm or another place. It's like the same place she's in, but an evening setting, a night version of the fields that she was in. And she actually meets a progenitor, but it's not a progenitor. It's like someone's consciousness in an AI, perhaps, right? Who's been waiting for the one person to turn up. It was that scientist from beforehand who said no one person should have all this tech and power. We're not ready for it yet. Let's split it into clues. And Burnham's now the second person to turn up. She says she's been waiting for Burnham, this progenitor. So, you know, a little bit strange, but, you know, it is to be expected that they were going to expect something kind of cool when they met the progenitors, and this was it, to be fair. Turns out the tech can create life, and if it was to recreate a person or bring them back, they would have no memories of who they were. There's always a catch. I'm thinking at the time maybe the tech could bring back Quajon, but maybe it's not sophisticated enough to bring back that kind of level of planet. To be fair, it's asking a little bit much. Time, funnily enough, runs differently in this realm that Burnham is in, so she could stay there for a while and learn the ways of the progenitor tech. This is what the progenitor is trying to tell her, that she'll be there for a while, but it may not seem like a lifetime in the normal realm, in the normal universe. She's not really kind of sure what to do. She does get some answers though, Burnham. She gets told that the progenitors did not actually build the place that she's in within the portal. They had already found the tech, not the tech. The tech is theirs, but the actual place with all the portals to different worlds. Someone else built that. That blew my mind a little bit. I won't lie. Did not expect that at all. Kind of cool. Even more craziness kind of coming up. I didn't know. I did not know Discovery could do this. Discovery has to get rid of the dreadnought and the scout ship that T'Hal left behind, because the dreadnought's repaired and back in the game. The problem we've got here is Discovery wants to jump those two ships away. Not Discovery itself, the two ships, and I'm like, how? And they come up with kind of some sciencey way. They literally separate the saucer from the secondary hull. I did not know Discovery could do this. The plan being to fly one piece of the ship under the dreadnought, the other piece to the top. They're going to kick in to spur drive, or spore drive, even overdrive, and take these ships with them. And I'm just thinking, wow, this is nuts. But this little scout ship's there as well, and it's going to report what it saw. So Saru arrives and literally starts drawing their fire to keep them close to the dreadnought, so we can get two birds with one stone, or two starships with one jump, so to speak. And I'm thinking, well, this is cool. Okay, we did not get the proper starship fight that I wanted, but considering Discovery's outgunned quite a bit, as it's always the case, then that was always going to be the case, wasn't it? I had to come up with some other cool starship action, and this was it. Now, Rayner, one of my favourite characters and Gray's favourite characters, has definitely won VIP of this season for me. He's asked by his crew where we're going to jump them to, the Breen. And he has a think about it for a moment, and then he says, the galactic barrier. That'll take them a couple of decades to get back from, which is more than they gave his family. And I'm like, wow, okay, you're a better man than me, Rayner. I love it. Speech is brilliant. His return speech to them, to the crew, is not so great. He says something along the lines of good crew. Kind of amusing, actually, to be fair. He's uncomfortable with any kind of sentiment, that guy. So at this stage, I'm thinking, like, little nitpick, the Dreadnought is not opening fire on Discovery, nor is Tahal's Scout. Found that really, really strange, because it's been repaired somewhat, but, nitpicking details. And the progenitor is saying, you've got to make up your mind here, Michael, what do you want to do here, And she says, no one person should control this tech. I have to completely agree with her, Captain. So the spore jump, Discovery pulls it off. Pulls it off brilliantly. It's absolutely batshit crazy. It jumps the two ships away, but like I say, not itself. Didn't think it would be possible. And now Burnham, with this kind of conscious on her, this consciousness riding on her shoulders, she doesn't know quite what to do. She wants to help her friends and her shipmates first and foremost. That is the priority. She kind of, I think she's getting the choice at this stage by the progenitor to come back maybe one day. And she says, she'll discuss it with her superiors and whatnot. She gets out. She takes Maul with her. She goes back to Discovery and she meets up with Saru. I love the little the embrace between these two characters, Burnham and Saru. They're so great together. And she said, she says, I hear there was a possibly Action Saru may have come out today. And Saru says, yeah, he may have. Very kind of gullible like. I like that lovely little moment. Saru done his bit in this episode. Now, despite Burnham saying she's going to speak to her superiors about this one, she doesn't, or you don't see it, because the next thing she says, I'm going to destroy it. I will speak to the Admiral and the President and we'll see what's what. But then she decides she is going to destroy it. A nitpick, just a small thing, very, very strange. Discovery literally throws the tractors, the portal into the black hole. Game over then, or is it? We don't know what's in black hole. So, of course, now it's wedding time between T'Rina and Saru. Lovely, lovely wedding, really, really sweet. And there's a little heart to heart between Book and Maul. And interestingly enough, Maul is going to be brought before Dr. Kovich because he has plans for her. What they are, we don't know. I just find that really interesting. Kovich, at this whole time, while he's speaking to Burnham, lets her keep that little infinity loop transponder thing for that room the whole time. She can come back, even though she's a pain in his backside. She's looking around. Listen, she's looking around his room that he's in now, because he's a kind of old-timey-wimey guy, and it makes sense why. She notices some mementos in his wall. A bottle of Chateau Picard's wine. Also Georgia LaForge's visor. And Cisco's baseball, all hanging up in his wall. How cool is that? And she's asking questions. She's like, Kovich is a code name. Tell me who you really are. And this was cool. I'm glad they tied this up a little bit. It's Agent Daniels from the NX Enterprise days, the time guy. Loved that. I didn't see it coming. He said he's served on Enterprise. Doesn't say which one, but we know it's the NX, amongst other places. And I'm glad that was paid off. Really, really, really cool. So back to the wedding again. Little comment about everyone's attire. They looked so smart. I love the uniforms. I really do. The formal attire is brilliant, and it was a really beautiful wedding. This one's for Grey. Tilly literally officially signs herself off for Academy. She basically says that's what she wants to do next. She wants to be like teaching people and making them better individuals, whatnot. I know Grey will love that one. He's not a fan at all. There's kind of little quips between some of the crew about Tilly saying Raynor's crabby, as in, like always in a bad mood. Kind of true, but hilarious at the same time. Book arrives, of course, to the wedding. He is looking very dapper, very smart. He's late because of some Talaxian pirates. I like the little mention to the Talaxians. Very cool. Nice little touch. And, of course, Book and Burnham do make up, but there's no proposal. I was expecting Book to propose to Burnham. Kind of disappointed. He didn't there and then. They are interrupted by Kovic. He has another message for them, or should I say Agent Daniels. You don't know. Well, you do, I think, by the end of this episode, know what it is, possibly. Fast forward, this is, I think, the scenes they filmed extra. Fast forward, and we see old Burnham, right, much older, in a little cosy log cabin along with Book. She's an admiral now, and she has a son who is recently became a captain. Of course he does. Another little nod to the attire here. The future uniforms are really smart, including the admirals, Admiral Burnham's. They're really, really smart. I was a big fan of that. She's literally in her old comfy clothes, and she just taps her badge and she goes into full admiral mode. Her son's literally come to pick her up, the now captain, in a shuttle to take them to Discovery after all these years. The shuttle leaves, goes to warp inside the atmosphere. I recall that being a big no-no, but maybe this is this new pathway drive that no one has told us anything about. We arrive at Starfleet HQ, nice little upgrade. Instead of that one little spirally main building that they had, it's now 3 of them. And we see Discovery, and the little worker bee dots are doing something on the hull. Wasn't obvious at the time what they're doing until at the very, very end. Burnham's job, she will lead the Discovery's last mission. The ship has done really well to last this long. And this mission that they're taking out, I think, was Kovic's last Red Directive. The mission that she's got is to pay off the Trek short Calypso. Remember that in the future where it's stuck, it's lost. She takes the seat for the first time in a long time. No one's in the bridge. It's kind of really quiet and dead, and it all lights up for her. Really sweet, kind of emotional. She has flashbacks to herself with the crew. We even see Lieutenant Detmer again. I was a bit emotional watching it, I won't lie. And then I figured out what they were doing to the hull of the ship, the dots. They were removing the A from her hull so that Discovery doesn't break the temporal time directive. She looks like her old self again. The cells attached, all future stuff taken off. And as she's leaving under impulse power from the space dock, she gets a guard of honor as she leaves. And I'm a bit emotional even just describing it just now. Really, really sweet. But then Discovery, with its little plot holes sometimes at the very end, as she gets out, spore jump for the last time to take her to the destination where she's going to sit for a long time. No one else is on board. There's no spore drive pilot. No Stamets, from what we know. She's the only person. And yet it can do a spore jump without a spore navigator. It wouldn't be Discovery if it threw something like that in. So listen, yeah, I gave this a 9 out of 10. Really enjoyed that. Bit emotional. Not perfect. Some nitpicks here. I'm just glad it went out on a high. And now we're starved of Trek for quite a while. So apologies, this is a lot longer, this short review than usual, but give me a break, guys. It was an hour and 26 long. I was trying to go fast, but without going too fast. But if you want a beefy breakdown, we'll probably be spending, Gray and I, like probably 2 hours or close to 2 hours discussing this on Sunday, 8 p.m. GMT, where we'll literally break it down. We'll be live on Twitch and YouTube, so come along and say hello if you can make it. And if you're watching this pretty soon, we'll also be playing part 7 or 8 playthrough of Star Trek Resurgence tomorrow. So until then, guys, thank you. We'll see you again for some more Star Trek specials. All the best. Bye-bye.